Hi there, in last lecture we have installed AutoPrefixer. In this one we'll be finally using some of the Tailwind stylings. So in our assets folder where we have main CSS, I will write for first class we'll be targeting. Okay, so we'll be targeting root class. Alright, and to the root we'll be providing some stylings, but before we'll write here any stylings, we'll be using here specific directives belonging to Tailwind, and for this maybe you are getting right now errors, and maybe you are getting errors also with the Tailwind here. So to fix it, you need to run extension if you are in Visual Studio Code. When you will click on the left side here, extensions, you will see what extensions I have installed, and you just need one, this one here, Tailwind CSS IntelliSense. Okay, I can just uninstall it, but you should see here install button. If you don't see it here, you just need to search here name for extension. So Tailwind, and you will for sure now you will find this Tailwind CSS IntelliSense. It has a lot of downloads. Just simply install it, and after that you maybe need to reload your coding editor. Okay, but after that you will be able to use something like this. So I will target my root class, and I can write here apply. And this will basically apply inline stylings. So for example, I can write here something like this: age full. Okay, this is something only defined in a Tailwind, age full, and MX auto. All right. And when I will hover over, you will see this class is providing height 100%, and this utility class is providing margin left and margin right auto. Okay, so when you're using this directive apply, you can target some specific Tailwind classes, and that's what you're integrating to your class. So root now, you can imagine will have a height 100%. All right, and also MX auto, it will have a margin right. All right, what is defined here? Margin right is auto. All right, and margin left. Okay, so that's how if I would be writing this. Okay, so if I don't want to use these ones, I would have to write like this. But with the Tailwind, I can use directive apply, and all of this is unwind basically in my root class. Okay, so with this apply, you can really use this nice inline syntax. Okay, so to use apply to inline any existing utility classes into your own custom CSS. If you are not sure where I can find these classes here, how I know that I can use here age full and MX auto, what you need to do is just simply you need to go to documentation of the Tailwind, and you need to search there for the utility classes you can use, and you will find it there for sure, also in the examples and so on. But I will do it for you. So in this case, I will use here on the root, we are using the height of the root will be 100%, and margin left and margin right will be auto. So now, of course, we are defining this class, but we are not applying it anywhere. So let's apply it. We'll apply it in our layout. So let's go to our components layout and index the default layout TSX. And here, instead of the class name layout, I will provide here actually this, what I wrote here of the root. Okay, so root. And this will be actually main component, not a div, but a main. And we'll be having here more other components later. So I will write here also empty wrapper for this. Okay, so now let's save this. We should see already some changes. Let's go to browser. Okay, let's refresh. Actually, we don't see any changes because the styling doesn't have much effect on our element. They are provided. You can hover over. You can select here main class root, and you will see here that you have a height of 100% and margin left and margin right. But this doesn't have any effect yet, because if you want to provide the margin left and margin right of auto, you need to provide some fixed width. For example, I would have to provide here width of 500 pixels, and then you can see here it's margined automatically from the left and the right side in the middle. So in order to work this margin left and margin right, you need to provide some fixed width. But we'll be doing this later. Okay, so now if I provide here width like this, and margin left and margin right auto, this will sell it in the middle. But I just wanted to show you this as an example. Okay, so don't worry if you're not seeing changes. We should see changes after we will provide some fixed width here. So let's say width of 500 pixels, and this should work. Okay, refresh, and actually, okay, missing here a semicolon, of course. Okay, so don't forget for semicolons in your styling, so now it should work. Okay, now it should be in the middle. Okay, and yeah, here it is. Okay, but instead of providing some fixed width, I will just write here that the maximum width of my page, max width of my page will be 2460 pixels. So if you have a super high resolution, super big screens, the max width you will allow to display your page will be 2460 pixels, and it will be styled in the middle because of margin left auto and margin right auto. So it will have this 2000 pixels in the width and will be in the middle of your screens. But I have small screen. I'm working on my laptop, so you don't see here change. Okay, that's one thing. But you can see here when I'm using here root element here. This is targeting all of the root elements in my application. So if I would have a multiple root elements for let's say, let's go to coding editor for a second, and let's go to our pages, to our app.tsx, to our index page, for example. If I would target here class name, let's say class name, again root, this would be also applied to my root. So this stylings here, this in main CSS is applied to every class name with the root. Okay, so all the class name of the roots. So now they have two roots, and you will see here I have applying 100%, auto 2460 pixels, and the same I will apply to my main here. So now I'm propagating these stylings to all of my components. That's not very good because the React and the Tailwinds are supposed to work on a component base, so everything should be wrapped in a small component. So we would like to also wrap our stylings into the component, so it will be not exposed to all of the outer context. How we can prevent this? We can use module CSS. To create a module of CSS, it's very simple. You just need to create here a new file. We'll be providing these stylings for a layout, right? So in the layout folder, let's create here a new file, and you will call it simply like this, layout, and important file here, you need to call it .module CSS. Okay, so this is your custom name, and here .module.css. And here I will copy my stylings, okay? So I will go to my stylings in a main CSS, I will copy this root, and I will go to my module CSS, I will paste it here, like this, and I will go to my layout TSX, and I will import this module here. You can do it like this. You can simply write import. Let's say import style from, and now from the layout, so the same folder, from a layout .module like this, CSS. Okay, so now we are importing this. This will transform it into the object, and on this object you will have a stylings under the property of root. Okay, you will be able to access this root class under property called root. Okay, so now I can provide here class name like this. Instead of writing root like this, I'll write here curly brackets, and I'll write here style.root. Okay, and usually you will see it's shortified just for a S here, so you don't need to write the entire style, so like this, s.root. Okay, now we can save this, guys. Let's go back to browser and let's verify this will be different. So let's refresh, and also you should notice that the class name will be different. Now class name is the layout, name of your module, _root, __ some unique ID. Okay, and now stylings are only applied here. When I will go to this root here, they are not applied at all. So now you have this modular architecture. You are not exposing your styling to your outer components. Okay, like it is way. So save it up, verify everything is working, and we can continue. In the next one, we'll be adding one more style, and then we will take a look on CSS variables. See you in the next lecture. Cheers.